Hey everyone, welcome to another Webflow live stream. I'm your host Nelson. Thank you for joining me this week. This is episode 153. Yes, we're back. How are you all doing? Hey everyone in the live chat room, we are streaming live to Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook group, the Facebook Webflow group, and the Facebook page. Yeah, we're doing it all. We're streaming everywhere. So where are you all from? A lot of people in the YouTube chat room right now already saying where they're from. Welcome, you guys. Welcome, everyone. Australia, 1 a.m. drop. It's 1 a.m. Why are you awake? Thank you for joining us at 1 a.m. in Australia, but this is recorded. But hey, if you want to hang out with the community, thank you so much. Danny from Tucson, Arizona. I would like to congratulate Cody. Cody is live, the first person on Mars, or so he or she was. Cody. So Cody is the first person on Mars. Welcome. How do you get internet that fast over there? Is that SpaceX internet or something? Great job. What else? Portland, Texas. Eric from Texas. Joe from Portland. All of you guys are amazing. Darren from Tennessee and Facebook land. Where's everyone from Facebook? Chatsworth, California. Hey. Iken is asking, when does this start? Right now. Norm from Vancouver, Canada. Sensei Nelson. Hello. Brazil. Brazil. It's 2 p.m. Brazil. Yeah, not too bad. Hope you all are having fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. Today is a community spotlight. Now, before I get into what a community spotlight is, let me just intro the stream. Forgot to do that. We stream live every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and what we usually do is show you some cool tips and tricks on how to use Webflow, how to build things in Webflow, how to do cool things with Webflow. We also get people in from the community who want to show off what they've learned or what they've built in Webflow, and that's Community Spotlight. We also have a little bit of a variety of other things like speed building challenges or even interviews with Webflow employees. So yeah, I think that's about it for the intro. Yeah, let me go get our Community Spotlight, our fellow community member. Get there. Whoops. Hold on. Before I intro him, gosh. Here is what Chris Gilbang has recreated inside of Webflow. Now, this isn't the actual Apple Mac Pro landing page. No, this is something he built in his spare time just to challenge himself. And that's what I love about Webflow, that you can use it as a sandbox or as a creative tool to just do something you've seen out in the wild and recreate it inside of Webflow. So all of this, here, let me refresh it. So all of this was created inside of Webflow without coding. So all of this. And he's going to show us how he did that from scratch. All right. So we're going to go up to this point right here, probably this paragraph as well. But I mean, if you want to keep going down the page, and I'll link it in the chat room soon. If you keep going down the page, I mean, he did the whole thing, So it's just amazing what you can do inside of Webflow. I mean, to Apple standards, you know what I mean? So let me link it in the chat room. Go put that here. Okay, someone's calling me out. Nelson, the title of the stream. Oh, I did it again. I'll fix it. Caption is wrong. Oh, live fail again. Should I have some time to fix this? Let me see if I can fix it real quick. All y'all, talk amongst yourself. I can fix this. Is it the lower third that says? Yeah, it says mega menu. We're not making a mega menu today. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Let me fix this real quick. What is the title? There we go. Got it. Okay. Where are you? Stream. There we go. Save it. And that overlay, save, replace. Okay, we should be good now. Yep, we should be good. Cool. Haha. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and bring in Christian Gilbang to the stream and learn more about him. Christian, you there? Go to unmute.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Doing
Good, good.
well. Doing well. Well, a little mess ups in the intro. Call myself out. People call me on live chat, but it's okay. It happens. So yeah. Tell us more about yourself. Like, how did you first find out about Webflow? And then like, what was your first impression when first using Webflow?
Okay, my name is Christian. I am a graphic designer, well, former graphic designer, now UX designer for Blue Shift, a software company here in Winnipeg, Canada. My experience with Webflow is that during my first year as a career as a designer, I was tasked to build a website using Wix. But the thing is, like, website or web design wasn't really my thing during school.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, well, I have no idea how to code, so might as well do it. And I found that, some of the features in Wix are not fully, I guess, not enough uh, for me to be confident enough to, start selling it on my own, or like even promote it as a service that we can provide, right? So I was kind of like still halfway through web design or in terms of interest, but then I heard about Webflow. And part of the reason why I'm not confident with Wix is that the fact that their code base is not really as clean as it can be.
Well, so hold on real quick. So you're a graphic designer, but you started to use a different platform, and so you're using Wix. But what made you actually go and look at the code? Because like that's where a lot of graphic designers, they're like scared to look under the hood and see how everything works, because code is very non-visual and kind of scary. It's a whole different language. So what made you curious about that?
Well, that's the thing, is like my during my in school, in design school, part of our training is either you focus on web design and development or animation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I understood a little bit of the basics of HTML and CSS. So the fact that like, I guess my personal preference is like, if I'm trying to sell myself as a designer who can build websites, I want to make sure that it's, I guess, up to a certain standard in terms of quality and all that. So, and a lot of the things I couldn't, I wasn't too confident with I can get with Wix,
Mm-hmm.
because, for example, like the responsive and all that, they have a separate version of, at least at the time, it wasn't fully responsive. They had like a desktop version and a mobile version of the site. So those type of little details that I made me, unsure if I should really brand myself as, hey, I can build websites. But then when it goes down to the line, it's like, oh, really? I can't do that.
Okay, and then like, how did you find out about Webflow? You said you heard about it, but like, was it an ad or a friend told you about it? Like,
Probably it's just some of the ads somewhere, and I just kind of signed up right away because of the promise of, building websites without
oh, you weren't
coding.
skeptical at all?
Well, I just wanted to try, because part of the it's also been talked a lot while I was in school. Like, if Adobe can come up with like an InDesign for web design, I guess, which was Muse at that time.
Yeah.
But as easy as, woodworking with Webflow and then generating good code, I guess, like or like high quality code. And then that's when I kind of just jumped in, and I actually signed up for 2015, or since 2015, but I didn't start like digging into it until maybe like the last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I just realized, oh, there's probably something here that I can do. And then that's when I started doing the prototypes and, just marketing myself as a Webflow designer as well.
Nice. So what was that first moment with Webflow? Like, I know that most people have this magic aha moment, like, what Webflow can do that. So what was that moment like for you? What was the thing, the Webflow feature that made you go, yeah, I feel confident now in my web design skills?
I guess it's fairly recent, is the one where, because me being the UX designer in our company, which is pretty small, we have less than 20 people, and I was in charge of all the design. But then when it came to the dev handoff, we would just have like the flat images or like PSD mockups of
Yeah.
the design handing off to the developers. So I kind of talked to one of the devs, hey, how about we try Webflow, like exporting the code and all that? Maybe that's at least we're kind of skipping that awkward phase where
Yeah.
they're building it and I have to come in and make sure, oh, change this, change this.
Yeah.
So using Webflow, I can build the HTML and CSS for them, so that if there's any back and forth, this is going to be a matter of tweaking a little bit of the code as opposed to telling them, oh, this is all like completely wrong and all that. So knowing that thing is possible, like if the developers in our company are fine with the code that's being generated by Webflow, then that means Webflow is doing something right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. 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 I mean, it sounds like you're all about the clean code, and it totally makes sense. And that whole bridge or that handoff process, you just give them the zip file that Webflow exports, and they can just go to town with it and understand it completely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As
I
opposed to
mean,
writing it.
and honestly, that's what a lot of platforms are kind of missing, because you look at their marketing pages, and their head tags are like 300 lines long for some strange reason, with a bunch of CSS in the head tag, and it's like, why? So I get it. So yeah, today you're gonna be rebuilding the page layout that you've done for, like, in the Apple Mac page, Mac Pro page. What made you want to challenge yourself to rebuild that?
Um, I've been doing a lot of the design prototypes. I try to do them every 2 weeks, but it doesn't really happen every time. So it was just everyone was excited when Apple announced the new product and all that. So I was like, hey, this is a hot topic right now, so might as well do it for this week's I guess like episode of the prototype. So I just went in there, put in a couple hours, and yeah, just happened so that got picked up by
So
by just by
you
everyone.
so you practice every 2 weeks?
I try to do it every 2 weeks. Doesn't really happen realistically, but what I do usually is I go on Behance or Dribble or Instagram. People usually post their mock-ups,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just go find the source and then try to recreate it. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of backlog there that I've produced over time. But yeah.
Nice, nice. Would love to know your social media links to see your Dribble account to see what you've built inside of Webflow. But yeah, let's go ahead and share your screen, and let's get started with the build. And while he's sharing his screen, everyone in the live chat rooms, in Facebook land, YouTube, and Periscope, yeah, if you want to be the next person on the community spotlight, and you want to show off something that you've built, and show us how you've done it, please send me a DM on Twitter, twitter.com/, the Pixel Geek, or post on the forums, forum.webflow.com. We want to see what you've built. We love seeing what you all are doing with Webflow, because there's always so many different ways to get to a solution. The web is very big, and there's no such thing as one straightforward 100% right solution, and I want to see what you've done with it. All right, so yeah, hit me up. All right, back to Christian. So Christian, the floor is yours. Have fun. Show us how you built that Mac prototype, and also, he's not going to be using the actual assets that he used. We're just going to be using like stock videos or vector graphics or stock photography for this live build. All right, so but the page layout is going to be the same. All right, Christian, go for it. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump right in. So first thing we're gonna do is take care of the initial layout elements first before diving into the interactions.
In here.
So let's start with the canvas here. So we have the body. First thing I want to do is to make sure that I have the right font. So I'm just gonna add it here. So instead of Arial, we'll just set it to Roboto, so we don't have to keep adjusting it every time we create something, different elements. We're not gonna do the whole navigation, but I will have a header element here because it does have impact on our spacing. So I'm just gonna do this, give it a pixel height. We're gonna skip the hero to begin with. we're just gonna jump into this section. So again, we just wanna pick off the some of the low hanging fruits into for because we are time sensitive during the stream. So for this one, we're gonna give it a class of, let's say, section content. We're gonna set it as a flex with the justify center. So we're centering it because we are adding another div inside, and we're gonna call it uh, container. And then this container, we're gonna make it display as flex as well. Change the direction to vertical. Give it a padding of maybe about 80 pixels. 80 pixels all around, so we can drag this. Doing it for everything. Also give it a width of 100%, but we're gonna limit it to max width of 1100 pixels. Okay, so now we have that. We can add the content right away, but I like using one more layer of div. This one I'm gonna call flex column. So this is just that because we're gonna add maybe like 20 pixel padding on the sides. And if we do that and not apply it to everyone, it's gonna mess up our alignment. So 20 pixels, make sure everything is to flex and vertical, align left. Okay, so now we're gonna start putting some content in. So this is the section where they have the little bit of description of the features. So I'm gonna put in a paragraph in there. Just copy and paste the text in here. Some amazing text from Apple. And then we're gonna give it a class because if you look at the designs, it's a little bit larger and a different shade of gray. So just call this one section text. We'll give it a font size of 40, a line height of 44. Change the color into, I don't know, like gray, maybe like something like that. And the design as well, they're calling out the first sentence. So we can make that bold. See here, all bold elements we've set it to, I guess, yeah, have it set to black. So we don't need to create its own class anymore because it's just a default global class. Last thing we need to add for this one is the default margin. Bottom one is 10, so we want to space it out a little bit more, give it about 40 pixels in there. So this part is done. We're going to add a button here, but instead of a normal button, we're going to use a link block just because we're going to have a label there as well as an icon. So we'll have the text in there. It's going to say watch the film. We're going to go ahead and style that link block. We're going to set it to display as flex. Align the content in the center. I'm going to remove the text decoration and then set the font size to about 30 and 32 line height. And then we're going to have to force the color into flat black. Okay, so now we're going to add an icon inside. So we've pre-installed the Font Awesome font icons in our project settings, so we can just go ahead and call it out as easy as changing the fonts here. So I'm going to copy this text block, change its font to CFA Solid 900. So that's the Font Awesome. And then we're going to go Font Awesome. The website wasn't loading earlier, so I'm not going to show it, but I do have the glyph pre-copied. So we're going to go ahead and copy the glyph from their website and paste it here. So now you can see the preview of the icon there while using the Font Awesome text font icon. Actually, we forgot to change the class here, so luckily Webflow created one. We're just gonna go rename this as a button icon. Last thing we need to do for the icon is just have a little bit of space in there so that it's not touching. And then that's pretty much it for this section. Now we can go ahead and copy, pressing Command C, Command V. So it's copying the new section, but we can go ahead and get rid of all the content here. Call it out as so at this point we're going to be building the section with the two graphics. So we're going to need 2 columns. So that's why we created the flex call so that we can reuse it. So copy and paste. But you'll see that since it's in the container, the columns are stacked. So what I like to do is create another div here. This time call it flex row. And it's going to be display flex, and we'll keep it as horizontal. And then we're going to drag the 2 columns inside the row so that you can see that the 2 columns are in there. I think I forgot to put 100% here. Oh, never mind. Fig row. Sorry, if I'm mumbling like this, let me know if it's too low. I don't want to sound like being secretive, thinking ahead. Okay, so flex column. So this first column is just a matter of adding the image asset into that column. We've pre-uploaded our images here. So this one is just a matter of dragging it all the way here, or if you want to be accurate, you can drag it all the way to here. And then you'll add your alt text there looking for accessibility reasons and all that. But we'll keep it simple for now. So you have an image here. This one we're going to be having we're going to be adding a video, and the design is the video of like the cover being up, I think. But this one we're just using a placeholder video. Before we add the video directly, we want to create another div to kind of contain the whole video. We'll just give it a class of video wrapper should be fine. Set the flex shell to grow, display as flex, and give it a width of 30%. We're going to be using the background video here, but we did pre-upload it because we don't want to make you watch Webflow transcoding the video and all that. So it's like magic of television. So we just copy and paste it here. Ta-da! Video is there. And now when we preview it, the video background will autoplay here. One thing I do want to call out is if you don't want the background video to auto loop because it's just the default setting of it, we can go ahead and add some custom code. Like I guess this one isn't really critical for the layout, but just a little bit of info. If you want to stop the loop of any video the background video that you placed. I'm not a developer at all, so a programmer. So I just went on the forums and went ahead and copy and pasted this code. So
can we give for that code? I guess we can post that on the forums too.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's already in the Webflow forum, so I just found it, and there's a couple of versions of it already.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then all you need to do is it's going to be getting by element by ID. So we're going to have to make sure that this ID matches. Save that first. Matches our background video. So we're just going to add video here so that it's not going to show in preview because it's custom code. So if we try to publish that real quick, let's see if that works. Hopefully it works. So it's a pretty short video. Just going to watch this guy type and write something or pretend to write something. And then drink his coffee, and it should stop right there. So it's not looping anymore, so we can see that the code works. So you guys just copy and paste that. So this section is good to go. The next section is just going to be another text. So we're just going to copy this section and then paste it. There's a little bit of difference in text here, so we'll just do it pretty quick. Just copy and paste it here. This one, we don't want everything bold. Just want this one is bold. And the label is going to be more about the design. And then I wanted to show this because it's just another example of copy and pasting a glyph from Font Awesome. And then just a matter of changing that. Okay, So the next more exciting section is the part where we have the top view and then the side view of the computer. So we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste this section again. Get rid of all the stuff in there. And then, so we already have our flex call, it's still there. And then it's just a matter of adding the images. So we're gonna have 3 images in total. Go back to our assets. So we have the top view plus the handle, the the inside of the computer, and the final piece is the cover that we're gonna be animating to for the final reveal of the, I guess, the inside of the computer.
Oh, my mind got blown. I was like, oh, now I get it. They're two different. Oh, okay. You just stack the images on top of each other.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right.
Now, right now it's not really gonna work because they're just on top of each
Yeah.
other. So it's these two that are gonna be interacting. So we're gonna have to put them in their own div, and then what do we call it? We're gonna call it um, image just call it cover wrapper. So we're gonna set this as yeah, there's nothing really need to style it. It's just a matter of making sure that the position is set to relative, because we're gonna put the 2 images in here, and then we're gonna give the cover image yeah, we're gonna give the cover image its own class because this is the one that's gonna be animating. Let's just a image, just call it cover, image cover. And this one, instead of static, we're gonna set it to absolute, and then just to make sure, we're gonna set it as full. So right now, the black the darker image is still there. It's just the fact that image cover is now on top of it, like stack on top of it, right? So now we're gonna add the interactions. So we can go to our interactions panel here, and then we're gonna set an element trigger. We want to add it to the image cover wrapper, right? So we want to be animating while it's scrolling in view. So we're gonna create a new scroll animation. We want to set the timing, kind of like the boundaries from starts entering with a little bit of offset. So maybe like 30%. Then same for exiting, 30%. This is just to make sure that it doesn't start right away, so the audience still have a chance to like realize what's happening. Give them a little bit of room in there, and then we're gonna so we're gonna go ahead and start the animation. We'll just call this one full cover. You can see there's kind of like a timeline here. So this is the height of the image cover wrapper that we're scrolling through. So in the beginning, all we need to do is make sure that the cover moves a little bit faster as than the user scrolling, so that they get to see the effect of the reveal of the inside. So I can set move. You can see it's defaulting to the wrapper, these two. But we want to change the target, go back to our navigator and select the image cover. So that's why we wanted the class there, so that we don't get confused. So it says here, so we just need to give them values. So image cover at 0%, we want to keep the y-axis movement to just the 0 because it's just the default. 0% actually, right? And then the end part is we're gonna give it 100% so that it's 100% off, but we want to make it negative so that it's going up instead of down. We want to give it some room as well. So instead of being at the 100% keyframe, we want to make sure the animation finishes at about maybe like 60%, right? So if you preview that, let's go to the top. So I'm going to use my trackpad so that it scrolls a little bit smoother. Here, there's the top. It's here. Then, so since we have the offset, so 30%, and then it starts moving, reveals it, finishes, and then you see the inside. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for that one. One thing I do want to add is just a little bit of smoothing, because I like make it like all of us to 100, like 90%. which will make the transition a little bit more floaty and just feels overall nicer. Keeping with the Apple standards of breath of fresh air and smooth animations. Okay, so that's it for that one. We also want to make sure that we copy this section, just because when we're previewing it, we kind of just end here. So just gonna quickly copy and paste this section, the content one, so that we have a little bit more room to scroll after. Okay. Okay, so the last part that we need to do is just the hero section. So we kind of skipped it because it's a little bit more heavy, but we're gonna go in and try to figure out right now. So we're gonna create a new div. I'm gonna name it appropriately section hero. Then it's defaulted to the bottom, so we're gonna drag it just under the header, and then we're gonna start putting our pieces in there. So first, make sure we have the styling correct for section hero. We want to set it to flex, justify center, and then give it a height of 100 VH. So if you guys are not aware, so VH is like I believe it's viewport height. So it's just gonna match 100% of the screen or device that you're using or the users are using. Okay, so inside the hero section, we're gonna create another div. This time we're gonna call it hero mask. So there's display flex, center as well for the content. We're gonna give it a background color, which is a little bit gray for the design. So it's like right there should be fine. And a width equal to, where's the width? 100 VW. So VW would be the viewport width. So it's the width of the device. And you'll see later in the animation or the interaction section. One thing we do want to include is make sure we have overflow hidden, because we're going to add the full height of the image here, and we will make sure it's cutting at the right distance at the right point so that it doesn't overflow over all of our sections. Hero mask is ready, so we're going to add another div inside. This one we're going to call, so we're going to be dealing with the content now. So this one we're calling hero heading wrapper, and inside it we're going to have our text here. We're going to keep it to H1. We'll give this, I think the design says Mac Pro. Yeah, so we're gonna add a class here because we do need to style it. So hero heading, give it a font size of about 180 because it's giant. It's more dynamic, and then just to keep it clean, we call it 180 as well for the line height. Make sure the color is set to black as per the design, and text align center. Okay, so we're gonna go back to heading wrapper. So this is the hero heading, but its parent is hero heading wrapper. So this is important because we want to make sure we have it set for the interaction. So set it as flex, directions vertical, align things in the center, give it a padding of about 100 pixels just to make sure everything lines up, because we're going to make this one fixed. And then we want to align it to the top and give it another 100, just so that when we preview it, everything still lines up even though it's fixed relative to the whole page, like the body. I believe that's it. Oh, another big thing, because since we're in the design, we're going to be fading or overlapping elements in the animation. So the macro is actually behind the actual image. So we're going to make sure we specify a z index so that we know exactly who's going to be on top of each other when we make them animate. Hero heading. Okay, so hero heading is good. I'm going to go back to hero mask. Just a quick review. So hero mask, hero heading, and then the heading here, the wrapper. So we're going to create another div inside hero mask. This one, we're going to call it hero container or image container, but we'll just keep it simple for now. Set it up as display flex, vertical center, and then give it a width of 100% of the mask. But this time we're going to limit it to just 1600 so it doesn't go overboard. Um, I'm not sure if this will actually affect it, but just to be safe, we'll just give it a height of 100 VH. And then the big part here is this one is going to be set to relative. Actually, may not be that big, but yeah, we just say it's big. And then Z index of 200. Okay, so this is the big part. So the big part is we're going to be putting the image within the hero container. And which one is it? This one. Side hero container. Right? And then we'll just give it a class of hero image because we're going to be targeting it for our interaction. Okay, so all the elements are there, and then it's just a matter of just a quick review, I guess. So it's just a matter of creating the animation when the page loads. So go back to our interactions tab or panel. Instead of an element trigger, we're going to be using a page trigger. So we wanted the animation to start once the page is done loading. So we're going to choose page load, and then we're going to select the one under when page finishes loading. Set an animation. This is the image is this the one? Okay. Okay, I guess I forgot to delete it, but we'll delete it and make a new one just so you guys can see how we created it. Okay, so we'll call this hero or hero again just to be funny. Okay, so to break down this interaction, because there's going to be a bunch of steps, so I'll try to go as clear as possible. So we set it on page load, we renamed it, and now we're going to start adding the elements selecting elements to trigger it. So first one would be the hero image here. So I believe it's going to be sliding up and then fading in. So we want to select it. The first one we're going to select is move. Change the target to make sure it's selecting hero image. And then we're going to set up the initial state. So we're not animating anything yet. We're just setting the first frame. And since it's going to be fading up, we're going to move it down about 400 pixels to start with. The second value that we're going to do is scale. So we're selecting this so that we don't have to change it again. We can select scale, set as initial. And then again, this is the initial state, so it's going to be the default. So scale is like 1 is the default, and then 1 point something gets higher and higher, or smaller if you want to be less than 1. And then the third one is the opacity. So it's just a matter of making it fade in. And then again, we're going to set as initial state, keep it to, instead of 100, we're going to make it 0 so that it's fading in as opposed to fading out. So that's the starting point of the animation. We're going to duplicate it for the endpoints. So what we're going to do is move. We're going to move it 100 pixels up. So 0 is the default. We moved it down 400, and then we're going to move it up halfway. So we just set it to like 200 pixels here. Opacity, we're going to set to 100%, so it's fully visible. And then scale, we're going to set it to, it's a very little difference, but it's not too subtle when you're animating it. Okay, so we've set that, so let's see what we got right there. So it's a little bit choppy. I don't know if it's a connection. There you go. So we got that, but it's still not up to in terms of timing. So we can tweak that as well. So we're gonna change the easing. I believe, yeah. So we'll just set them all in one type for now. So in out quint, I'm not really sure what quint means. I had to Google how to pronounce it even before we do the stream. So I like doing this one because it's kind of like slows down a little bit, ramps up, and then like slowly closes off. Duration, let's set it to about 2 seconds. So let's see how that looks. Right there. Looks nice. And that should be it for the hero image. I have in my notes here, so opacity. So let's see the difference here. So this one is in and out, okay. But this one I just had it default in the original one, so see if that's any better. Change the value. It should be fine. Okay, I guess it doesn't really, it's not very obvious, so we'll just keep it the same. Okay, so that's the first part. The next one is so if we preview it again, so we got that going. So the next piece is making sure that the gray hero mask is animating as well, so you get that effect of kind of like zooming in for the whole thing. So now it's just a matter of adding a new one for targeting hero mask. So we're gonna be dealing with the size this time. Change the target to hero mask. Then again, we're gonna be working with the initial state. So here we're just gonna duplicate the default values that we set earlier in the style. I like setting the height as well because sometimes it gets buggy when you just only change one value. So just to be safe for the stream. So we're gonna do that. So that's our starting point, and then at the end point, we're gonna duplicate it, move it all the way here with these guys, and then change this from 100 to just about 90. And then in terms of duration, we want to make sure that they match as well with the other ones. Then it's crucial that we use the same easing so that when we preview it, they all move at the same time. So is it, I just want to make sure because the gray is a little bit close to the white. So I just want to make sure everyone's seeing it.
Yeah,
So,
we can see it.
okay. Okay, so we have that. Okay. So the final piece for this set of interaction is just the heading wrapper, right? So now we're going to create another one for opacity because it's going to be fading in. And then we need to change this as well to make sure it's selecting the heading wrapper. Okay. Opacity is set to 0. Make sure that it's initial state. We want to duplicate it, or not duplicate. Keep that selected because we do need to move it again. So it's initial state, and we're moving it down just like 100 pixels. So now duplicate it. So we create the endpoint. So for opacity, we're just going to make it 100%. And then the move, instead of changing it to a number, we just set it back to 0. So that's like it's back to its original position. In terms of timing, we're going to make both 2 seconds. And then let's see that. Right, it's a little bit slow, it's just rendering. Maybe this one's better. And you can see this timing is still off, so we need to tweak it a little bit. Okay, so let's make sure. So opacity is set to 100.
It's
We're gonna
the easing.
Actually, there's a delay.
Oh,
So
really?
1 second, and then opacity will be the easing, same as the other ones. In out quint. And then the duration, actually, I actually took it to 1 second as well. Then move, similar 2 second, delay as well for 1 second. And then I set it to just the out. Instead of in and out, it's just out. So that it starts right away and then just slows down at the end instead of slowing and starting and slowing again. Do that right there. So see again. Looks nice. Okay, so I believe that's it for the hero. One last thing, so because if we preview this, see, publish it, look at it, see it's animating, looks nice, but the problem is once we scroll, it's still visible, and in the original design, it's kind of fading out as we're scrolling, and then it's still showing off over top of everything, right? Because it's fixed and it's always visible. So we want to make sure that fades out as we're scrolling and it just disappears, right? So we're gonna have to create another or one last interaction, but this time it's um, along our section hero. Create one and then just say scrolling in view as well. On scroll, we want to play a new scroll animation. We're gonna set our boundaries. So fully visible and fully visible with an offset of about maybe like 50% should be fine. All right. So now we're going to create an animation. We don't want to use the pull cover. We want to create a new one. So let's say hero heading fade out. So in the beginning, all we have to do is just changing the opacity. So opacity, okay, so we have the correct one. So I can change section hero. We want to start at 100% and end up at 0% so that it's disabled, or not section hero, sorry. We only want to fade out heading wrapper. Or is it just heading? Change target, heading. There. Okay. So 100% at 0 and then 0% at the end, but we want to change this to about maybe like 80% of the height. So this is 80% of the height of the section hero. So that we don't have to wait until we make sure that all the way to the bottom before it fades. And I believe that's it. So let's test it out. To the animation here. Scroll, it's fading, it's gone. Right? And I believe that's it. So that's pretty much it. So we go ahead and publish it.
Yeah. What's the link? Mac dash prototype. Oh, okay, let me put it in the live chat right now.
Mac yeah. So I guess there's two versions. One was the first one, and this one is the demo one. Right? So Mac dash prototype.
Awesome.
Okay, so if we refresh it for the final reveal, in Mac Pro, fading out, overlapping, cool stuff, images, video that's gonna end. I'm not gonna watch it. The section and then the full cover is revealed, and there it is.
Amazing. Done in like 40 minutes.
40 minutes, nice.
That is, yeah, you blew a couple minds here in the live chat room.
I can see the chat. I don't have it on.
It's okay. It's okay. If you have any questions for Christian, go ahead and ask them now in the live chat room. And while we're waiting for those, go ahead and stop sharing your screen. That was really really quick, you know. And what I this is just a great example of just practice. You know, you see something in Dribble, you see something live on the internet, just try to challenge yourself to recreate it inside of Webflow, and you'll learn so much. I mean, for you, starting out as a graphic designer, and you knew a little bit of HTML and CSS, how much of Webflow, how was that learning curve for you to get into Webflow?
It wasn't too hard, to be honest, because just a matter of like understanding I guess like the box model and how to structure things and all that.
Yeah.
Then it's just a matter of like, you know, kind of like converting those principles and adjusting it to the UI of Webflow, which is, you guys designed it pretty well, so it was pretty easy to get around with it. So
Yeah.
it
And one more question about that transition from graphic design getting into web. Responsive design is such a, you know, is such a new thing for graphic designers, because you graphic designers are always having a set canvas, whether it be a billboard to a business card and everything in between. That business card never really, you know, stretches to infinity, to, you know. So how was that learning curve to understand responsive design for you?
that one was okay, because again, it's like it was part of our like web design. It was part of our training, right? So
okay, so they teach responsive design.
Yeah, so that's why it's kind of one of the frustrations working with the platform like Wix, is that you know that it should be at that point, 2015, web responsive design is a standard at that point in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So to have a tool that doesn't cater to that requirement is not really, not the best for your business, or for
Yeah.
if you're like a freelancer or something, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. So now that you've not, well, now that you've mastered Webflow, like, well, you got to the point where you can recreate the Apple landing page. It was like really awesome. Like, are you doing freelancing on your own now? Are you feeling very confident and you have a lot of not a, do you have a lot of clients happening?
uh yeah, I guess. Because the thing is, I have my full-time job as a UX designer, and then I have a side business doing designs for my clients.
Nice.
So I've been kind of slowly introducing Webflow to our company. Again, that story of like the dev
Mm-hmm.
handoff as opposed to just flat files and all that. So we have successfully used it in some of our projects there,
Nice.
which turned out pretty well. So the devs are pretty happy. And then for my freelance side, I've confidently added it to my service of listing of services, so that I can design it and build for you as well, so we don't need a third party, or outsource it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing off the process. You don't have the chat room open. Actually, Zoom has a chat room. Can you go ahead and post your links, like your portfolio site, your social media links? I want to post it in the live chat room. Yeah. And again, if you want to be on the hot seat, you want to show off what you can create inside of Webflow, please send me a DM on Twitter or post on the forums, and I'll get you on the stream. Okay, cool. Christian Gilbang
So I guess
.com.
I just noticed here. So I guess Font Awesome is down because my icons are not rendering on my website.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Weird.
There's a huge outage on Cloudflare or something like that.
I see. So that's why.
Yeah, so probably yeah. But
Not
thank
good.
you so much. Yeah, we'll see you on the forums, and I can't wait to see what else you build. If you ever build anything else, let me know. Or post on the forums. I'm
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I would love to see what you do. But thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. All right, see ya.
Good day.
All right. Well, that was fun. Yeah. So we're at the next part of the stream. If you have a question about Webflow, anything, or you have a project that you're working on and you want some feedback on, go ahead and post the webflow.io link in the live chat room, and we'll get to it. Okay. A lot of people saying thanks to Christian. Yeah, claps in chat for Christian. Well done. Very clean build, and very quick too. And it's quick to show off what you've learned, but it takes a longer time to actually learn how to do it. And the fact that he practices, he tries to practice every 2 weeks by just recreating something, that just shows that he's really passionate about design, and he wants to continue learning. And Webflow enables that. Webflow enables you to continually learn. So yeah, I mean, go out there and just learn a thing or two. Okay. Let's see here. Can he upload the Webflow site as a clonable thing? I can ask him. Yeah, I can ask him. A cool thing would be to see the project as a clonable website. Yeah, so I'll ask him after the stream. Let's see here. I'll take the first 5 or 6 webflow.io links to review. Here we go. First one, Web Desire, Therapy Loft, NEU. All right. Let me pull this up. Okay. Cool. Let me share my screen. Cool. All right. Let's refresh this. Is there any preloaders or anything? Nope. All right. Watch out. You have a horizontal scroll down here. Not sure why. Okay. Slideshow, Therapy Loft. Okay. I get it. I feel like these nav dots for the slider is very close to the bottom. Might want to add some padding in between the bottom and the dots. Okay, let's see here. Not bad. Okay, I got confused here. Not sure why you went for the mouse movement interaction. This feels like a nav bar, but yeah, but with that interaction, I got confused as to why I can't scroll, and then I started moving my mouse and got confused. So, okay, still under construction. Okay, so that's one of the things. Just make this scrollable. Just make this scrollable. It doesn't have to be on mouse position. Um, yeah, and I get that you may have a scroll bar within a scroll bar, but there is some custom code that you can style. A custom CMS that helps you style a scroll bar, so it doesn't have to look like you have two scroll bars happening at the same time, which you will have. But yeah, let's keep scrolling down. Okay, we got some parallax scrolling at the top. Cool. Parallax scrolling in here. Cool. Nice clean colors. I like it. Soft colors. Parallax scrolling all the way around. Cool. All right, good start. Good start. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, good call, Hugo. You should have a close button. Add the word close with an X or something like that, because I just instinctively, because I use the web every day and I look at websites all the time, and I clicked outside just to get the menu going, and I didn't really think about the close. But yeah, people will be like, oh, how do I close this? And they won't know to click on somewhere on the left. But yeah, good call. All right, next one, Darren. What are you working on? Okay, we've seen this before. 22 shapes. So, being a web designer, I'm thinking this is a menu button. And it's not. Okay, this goes to the homepage. Okay, then what's this? This also goes to the homepage. Maybe this is still a work in progress. Not sure what these are for. All right, moving on. Creating simple logos. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's weird to see the name, like the author of the quote before the actual quote, and also the call to action before the quote. Flip these two. It just made me feel weird for some reason. I was like, something's wrong here, and I can't put my finger on it until I looked at it longer. So, flip these two rows, and you should be good. All right, moving on. Click the logo to see that project page. All right, we're gonna go with Meridian. Okay, cool. Okay. Scroll interactions, liking it. Nice. Let's go back. All right. Nice. Nice. Everett. I always like doing that kind of stuff. Yeah. Spaghetti plus spaghetti westerns. What? What's that? What does that mean? All right. Cool. What video game are you playing nowadays, Darren? Yeah, I like this. Great job. Yeah. Besides that, I got nothing. Well, okay, so this one feels very spaced out. And then all the other rows, it seems not as spaced. Probably add more padding to the top and bottom of each row. A little nitpicky thing. I mean, it's your brand. You do what you want. It's just my suggestion. Don't take it. I mean, if you don't want to. It's just, yeah. Well, yeah. Good job. What else? Okay. How about accessibility in pages created in Webflow? Does Webflow have tools or something? So yeah, accessibility, that is something we're putting inside of we're working on. We have a whole team on accessibility working on putting that as a feature inside of Webflow, where the tool will tell you, hey, you instead of having like an image alt tag as something you have to find, we're gonna put it straight in front of your face. When you like drag in an image, we're gonna say, hey, you got to put a caption on it or something like that. We're finding ways to make accessibility in the forefront rather than a secondary thing. So Justinas, yes, that's a that's the issue that we are tackling right now. Anything else? Wow, not a lot of links. Okay. All right, let me check on Facebook. Let me check on Facebook real quick, see if anyone there has any links. All right. Bless you. All right. Loading. No links there. I'm gonna try the other Facebook page. Can you use Webflow for free, or is it trial? So yes, you can use Webflow for free. There's a starter account plan that you can start experimenting and also learning how Webflow works. And if it fits in your workflow, then you can either add a site plan to your project or upgrade your account plan. Okay, no links inside of Facebook. All right, back on YouTube. Paul Britton, see what you've created. Done initially in July 2015, due for an upgrade. All right. Let's see what you did. Cliftonville. Okay. All right. So I'm guessing this one is not done yet. This is the old 2015 version. If not, couple things. Your slideshow is going way too fast. I can't read what's happening. That right there, I think that's Google Maps. But for some reason, with this type and the shadow and the way this video is moving in the background, it kind of reminds me of Family Matters intro. Days go by. Okay, I'm done. All right. So, anyways, it's hard to read on some of the slides. So if I refresh, the type gets lost inside, and the call to action gets lost inside of the image. The image is very loud, so you might want to put some sort of color overlay on top of the image or video, so we can read this more. Slow down your slider. You have some broken images here and there. You don't really need a book now. That's always you don't need this animation that's spinning. It's if people want to book, they'll book. Okay. And you don't need to. You have a book now, and it's a broken image, but also you have a book now here. So you're kind of telling people like book now. Yeah. Let them enjoy the site first. Let them understand the imagery, and if they really want to book, they'll book. Okay. But yeah. Moving on, yeah. Hugo says this website looks a bit dated. I agree. Yeah, come back next week and see if you can fix some of the stuff that I've said. Christmas, New Year, I'm not sure why that's 2 lines. Yeah, so a little bit. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The site's a bit loud in everywhere. I would suggest trying to start from yeah, it's just a lot of stuff happening at the same time. I would like really go back and take a look at some of the templates Webflow has and try to either start from a Webflow template or see what the templates are doing and apply that to your style, because the Webflow templates are very spaced out. There's a lot of content, but still you understand the story. Yeah. But keep working at it. Come back next week and show me what you've done. All right. Web Desire, we already did one of your sites, so I'm going to move on to N2K Design. Home server. Okay. Things are happening. Oh, wait. What's this? Is this broken? Something's happening up there, and I don't know what. What is that? Okay, N2K. I think there's an issue here. Create your own world. Create your own computer in a snap of a second. Seamless is standing for gaming virtual computers, which make yours. Virtual gaming virtual computer. Wait. What does? Oh, okay, I get it. It's if you want to make your own gaming server and that it's on the cloud. I get it. Okay. That's some small type compared to this. Might want to fix that. Oh, okay, this is just okay, this is footnote data. I mean content. I get it. All right. Yeah, this doesn't really tell me much. Create your own world. It would be nice if there was a background video, and if it's gaming, if the website is all about gaming, gaming is all about visuals, videos, and whatnot. Put a background video. Put a background video on this one, where this text explains the background video that's happening, and then the background video explains the text. Okay, so yeah, it looks clean so far. I would just put like some sort of heading here that explains that this is legal jargon or something like that, because like I thought I was gonna learn more about the service, but yeah. Okay, cool. Why seamless server? Okay, still working at it. Yeah, your type is very small. I would make the icons bigger. Make the type bigger. Make it very big, because gaming is all about big visuals, explosions, and whatnot. So yeah. Keep at it. Come back next week. Show me what else you've created. All right, Michael Jean Malik. All right. Let's see here. Other stuff. What is this? Seems like a lifestyle brand or something. Okay, photography. Yeah, so I don't know what this is. Maybe some sort of words that explains what this is. Is this a personal photography site or something like that? That's a nice photo. What is this? New project. I'm interested. Oh, official EA. That's the URL. Okay. I'm interested what that is. I like the layout though. Okay. The prints. I like all of this. This is nice. Oh. I'm interested. No, I want to view project. So if I click here, I can't go anywhere. Okay, so that's weird. If I click anywhere inside of the slide, it goes to the next slide. However, if I click on the text, I'm guessing it's going to go to that project page. However, if I click inside of here, okay. Yeah, if I click here, it goes to the next slide. Right? So the link starts here but ends there. So that's going to cause a weird user experience. Okay, so be careful with where your anchor tag is. But yeah, I have a Matt. Great job. I like the direction. Keep going. Vidor, for today's meetup. Oh, okay, you're having a meetup in Sao Paulo. Good job. Okay, move mouse from top to bottom very slowly. Oh, you're going to teach people how to do this. That's cool. That's cool. You're going crazy. Okay. Nice. Well, let us know how the meetup goes. That looks like it's going to be fun. 3D interactions. No code. Webflow. Sarikis says, I'm only 15 but love using Webflow. Oh, man. Back in my day, when I was 13, starting to learn how to make web pages, it was using AOL, America Online, and then GeoCities. But you're 15 and you have Webflow, man, you're gonna go places. Ugh, I'm excited for your future. Ugh. Yeah. It's brand new and just started. Okay. Cool. Well, great job, everyone. Love what you've created. Let's go ahead and end the stream, shall we? All right. And if I haven't got to your link, please post in the forums or come next week and I'll review it. Okay. But either than that, thank you all so much. Let's go through the outro. If you have any account billing or technical questions, please go to university.webflow.com/contact and the global customer support team will help you out as fast as they can. If you have any design or custom code questions, that's where you would go to forum.webflow.com and join the global community there and ask your question there. And do me a favor, if your question gets answered, please pass that favor forward and answer someone else's question so we can all grow together. And if you have something cool you want to show off, post it on the forum too. That'd be awesome. Just get the whole community to look at what you've created. This stream happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Next week, what's happening next week? What is next week? Oh, okay, cool. I think we're doing a regular build. I'll let you know. Just stay tuned to our all our social media pages. Speaking of which, you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/webflow. You can follow me at The Pixel Geek, twitter.com/thepixelgeek, instagram.com/webflow, facebook.com/webflow. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, go ahead, click that subscribe button right now. And click the like button and the notification bell so you'll know whenever we post a new education video or when we go live. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me and Christian. It was an awesome build, and I want to see what you create. All right. So with that being said, thank you all so much. And as always, make the web beautiful. See ya.